I'm going to go ahead and screen share. All right. Well, thank you for showing up to hear the real estate and review within our area. We call it the Wilmington MSA, which encompasses New Hanover, Brunswick, and Penter counties. What I'll do is I'm going to kind of start broad and then narrow it back in. And then we had some people who wrote in some questions that they had, and I'll answer those at the end. And feel free to share this with your friends or family that are interested in moving to the area and want to know how last year did, what we think is going to happen this coming year. And if you have any questions that I don't answer for you, you're always feel free to call me or email me, and I'll be happy to discuss those with you. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what we have here is I wanted to show what our rates looked like last year, and they were kind of steady. However, they were high, and the only real time that we had any that would just kind of went low was back in September. The market itself was a little bit of a roller coaster here. So it really was kind of a week by week, but I wanted you to see what the rates look like. When you have a VA or an FHA, they're always a lot less. So if you are able to use those loan programs, I would highly suggest using them. The rates are still kind of flat, still in and around what we have now, but this is what they looked like last year. Now I wanted to, these are slides from my company with Keller Williams, and they always do research, and they always bring them out and allow us to use these each year. And I just found these really fascinating with what the home sales were. Last year, we had 4.1 million home sales. The lowest that we had was back in 2018. And prior to that, we're hanging in and around what we had in 1997. So we're pretty low in inventory, and we don't see that much of a difference for next year. So what that means is we are still low in inventory, and a lot of people ask us why that is. And right here is a real good example. When we had that recession, we weren't building, and so we weren't keeping up with what we should have had, and so that's contributed a lot, not only the pricing, but just not enough inventory. So the builders have been working hard to get those out, but it's still not enough. And this is the average long-term trend that we are on, that we should be on at 4%. And see right here, we didn't make it, and now we're above the trend. That's why a lot of people do like to invest in real estate, is because at least you've got this trend here of 4%. It's kind of more of most people feel like a safer place, more reliable place. And so we are probably going to have another year of increases. Now, it's not going to be pre-pandemic increases like we had, but we're still going to see those increases. And then this I just thought was a lot of fun, this the history of home prices with appreciation, the housing bubble where we went. I just think this is kind of a neat. Then inventory again. Here we go with where we are with inventory. I was just talking with you about where we really missed out on building, and then here where we should be. It also talks a little bit about where we have a balanced, where we should be balanced. Right now, we are not in a balanced market. However, what you'll see is people ask me, are we in a seller's market or a buyer's market in our area? And I say we're in both. Yes, we don't have enough inventory. However, buyers are still feeling that home prices are overpriced, And with that, they are much pickier about what they're choosing. They are now allowed to spend a little bit more time looking, and they want something very specific. You can no longer, just put your house on the market and it sells the next day. You really do have to go back to painting the home, getting it maintained, doing those pre inspections to make sure that when you go under contract that it doesn't fall through because of the inspection report, which happened a lot last year. So it's better to get ahead of those inspections and fix those items. I'd much rather see you spend $50 on something where somebody else might think it's $150 or $500 fix, or just not want to deal with it at all, which was happening, and people were just moving out. We did do a lot and work with a lot of new home buyers where they just wanted brand new because they didn't want to deal with anything. And there was a ton of incentives out there because prices were so high. The bigger home builders were able to incentivize by offering rate buy downs. So instead of spending 6% on an interest rate, they were able to do 4 or 5% and keep that going. So we saw a lot of that. Now, with that said, though, too, if you had the right house, could you still get multiple offers? Yes. And you're still getting multiple offers on some homes. So here's a good example. Just this couple weeks ago, showed a house, $340,000. Adorable, just a cute little quaint cottage near downtown, and it had multiple offers. And so it went way above what the asking price was. And then you have homes that are just sitting on the market. So here's Cape Fear, and this is our area. This is all of our MSA, which encompasses Pender counties, Brunswick County, and New Hanover County. So those three data points are in here. So for last year, we did see listings increase significantly, especially closer to the middle of the year. About 18% over the year before. And a lot of it, I think what I saw is that sellers were just starting, and buyers too, were just getting comfortable with those high interest rates. They didn't see them going down. It was predicted in 22 and 23 that we're going to see rates go down, and the economists are kind of going back on what they said, and they're putting qualifiers on what they're saying now because it has been so unpredictable. So people are just putting their house on the market because they have to, or that they want to, or they're seeing that they have so much equity in their home that they're buying to that next property. And you still do have the occasional divorce or death that require selling your home too. Okay. And then the median sales price did go up about 2.78%. And that's kind of where we're seeing things stay. We're seeing it's not going up significantly like it was, but it is going up. I have seen that with the new home starts. They from last year compared to this year, they are increasing their price point. And that was a question that I had. New home. So the question was, is real estate sales in 2025 versus a 4.6% increase in new housing costs and high interest rates? We are seeing builders increasing that, and some of it is due to the possible tariffs, so they're kind of getting ahead of that. And so you're seeing that, and I know they're trying to keep within a certain price point too. You're really starting to see the housing really stay within that mid 3 to 400 price point, especially in Brunswick County, where you see the majority of the building happening. And then you have smaller builders, like we have a community coming on market, and we don't have the money that these new home builders do, these big regionals like D.R. Horton. So where they don't have any flexibility on changing the home, we'll offer that. So we'll be able to offer some more additional things like a porch, or if you want a different type of flooring, different types of cabinets, we'll be able to offer that as an incentive other than, just with that, since we can't decrease your interest rate, but still keep it under that 400,000 price point. So with our MSA, we did see growing inventory, slower absorption rate, meaning that things weren't going properties weren't going under contract as quickly, and then stable prices. We are going to see probably the traditional seasonal pattern, which we have. We saw a huge increase in listings this month versus last year. And so hopefully this will create more of a balanced market where we can go back to more of, we saw the house today, let's marinate on it. Is this what you want to do? And then put the offer in instead of having the offer in our hand and submitting it like we did with the pandemic era. Well, who are these people that are buying? So about in February, we had UNCW economist, Dr. Gitabi, come in and speak with us. And this is what I see. So years ago, it used to be probably about 10 years ago, we really just saw people from like New York, Connecticut moving down here. Now we're seeing people from like California moving here more so than ever from the West Coast, because the prices are a lot higher there and they're just getting tired of everything. So they're moving out this way because it's much more of a similar kind of atmosphere here. So we're seeing that. And also why you're seeing it too is these people are bringing in a lot more money than the average person who lives here. So if you look here, the average resident makes about $64,000 or $62,000 a year, where these migrants from the different areas, their average household income is $130,000, $102,000. So, and they're bringing their equity here too. Because like you even notice, and if you live in the area, you're like, if we're in such a bad economy, why is there so many people at these restaurants on a Tuesday, a Monday, and they're packed? So that's what we're seeing. I mean, like landfall, I mean, a lot of times that used to be people's primary homes or maybe a second home, and now they're like the third or fourth home. And landfall is a community, where you have like $1,000 a square foot. So this I thought was interesting. This just came out a couple of weeks ago from NAR, and mortgage applications are definitely on the rise. They're starting to see interest rates go down. So it's giving people more, I think, hope that they can buy into something. Now, this is the last couple of months here in our area. So this again is our Wilmington MSA, and prices have slipped a little bit. Overall, like in New Hanover County, we saw an increase of prices year over year, but down month over month. Brunswick, we saw both down year over year, month over month, but in Pender County, we saw increase year over year, decrease month over month. Most likely what you'll see in Brunswick County is there is so much building down there that it is competing heavily with, with resale homes. So, because, people think, okay, if I can buy a 2,000 square foot home, that's 10 years old, but I can get this one brand new. Why would I want to buy a home that may have all these problems and issues? So again, it's really important for sellers, if you have a older home, to make sure that your home is ready to go and it's clean and you did all the maintenance on it, and you'll definitely see that in an offer. Now with us, so every day, well, Monday, every day except for Tuesday, I'm on a daily call with our team over here at Keller Williams, and we talk about numbers every day. We talk about what does the market look like, what is it bearing, what interest rates are, what is the inflation rate, because it is changing I asked people, they asked me, how does it look? And I said, really, it's changing almost week to week. So this really helps me know what is, incubating in our community. So if you look like this one here, oops, didn't mean to do that. So this chart here is from August of last year, and we just had so many price changes back then. We're still seeing price changes. It's just because you would go into a neighborhood and it was very difficult to price homes because this home went for 350, but then this one went for 410. I mean, there's just so many different price points that we had to kind of adjust constantly with price changes. And this also again shows, homes that expired or back on the market is because buyers weren't putting as much down in due diligence fees, so they were okay with losing a couple $1,000s. They didn't want the burden of this home. We've seen it lighten up now. This is for March, and we've seen it lighten up here. And we're still seeing some price changes on a daily basis. We're not seeing as many homes expire or withdrawn. We are seeing new listings coming up, more homes pending. So it's been a pretty good month as far as that goes. I know with me, what I'm seeing is that the majority of my business comes from people who are moving here out of state, and that's kind of our niche. That's what we work with, is people moving in here out of state and moving out of state. So we deal with a lot of people for second homes. And so a lot of the people that we coming here come through our site, and we have seen a huge increase of people coming to our site. They're talking to us more often. They're really anxious to get down here within this coming year. So that's kind of how I can tell that people are starting to really just settle with, understand about what the interest rates look like, and just move somewhere where it's, has really great weather. So just let's see, let me answer any other kind of questions that I had. Let's see, in light of 2024, what changes can we expect in 2025? It's just kind of the same. I think it's really week to week. We are starting to see rates come down, which is great. Let's see, upcoming residential condos for seniors only. Although we have the majority of our market is made up of retirees, especially whom we work with, we're not seeing condos being built for retirees. And I don't know if you meant rentals. Now there are some rental communities down in Brunswick County in the Leland area. But I would say if you're looking for mainly a retire or senior only, look for places that have golf courses. Those are typically going to veer on the retired side. Doesn't mean that you may not have a young couple in there next door to you, but it tends to be that way. The only place that is 55 and over are the Del Webb communities, and we have two. We have one in Wilmington, and then we have one that just started down in Mallory Creek in Leland. And so those are the only two that are designated 55 and over. Now, if that is a big concern for you, the only thing I could say is if you like a home, just drive by during school hours after school gets out. And if there's children around, then don't buy that house. Let's see. I think those were all the questions and all the points that I wanted to hit. I think the main thing is don't try to time the market. I have had people do that, and they've lost out on homes, that they've lost out on just being able to afford the home, trying to time it, thinking the rates are going to go down, or the prices, or especially the prices are going down. If you find a home that you love, you just need to buy it, because something like that just may not come back up again. So if you would like, some more information about what I'm talking about and or about a community, because each area is really different. Some areas are hotter than others. I'm happy to share my experience with you on those. This is my information. And then next month, April 9th, we're going to be talking about insurance. And that's a really good one to come and see, because insurance is changing all the time. So last year we just learned that they're really looking at how old the roof is, how old your water heater is, what kind of pipes are you may or may not get insurance because of those. Or they may want you to change that roof within a year. So when we're looking, you just want to make sure that when we're looking at a resale, how old is that roof? And do we need a budget for it for the future? Because you can get insurance. It's just you may have to go with North Carolina's insurance, which is a little bit higher than just like your mainstream insurance. But that's a really good one to come to next month. And then just a little FYI, if you have anybody that is interested in commercial or the commercial area, we are going to be starting a new commercial division starting next month. So you'll find out more information about that. But I just wanted to plug that a little bit, and you're the first ones to hear it. So, all right. Do you guys have any questions that are here? I'm happy to answer any. You have to unmute, Mark. Oh, can't hear you.
Yeah, I just said.
There you are.
Okay. I am curious. You had mentioned a couple 55 plus communities, Del Webb's. I knew the one was in Leland area. I guess. Where was the other one at? The second one?
That
Whoop.
attached to River Lights in Wilmington. Can you hear me okay?
You cut out on me.
Okay. It's in Wilmington in a community called River Lights. So it's right across the street from River Lights, and they can share amenities. Well, Del Webb can share River Lights amenities, but that's a really neat little area because you're only like 5 minutes away from Carolina Beach. You're right there on the river. Out of the two, I think it's probably the prettier of the two. The one in Leland is nice, but it's just a community.
I had a home in Topsail Island for 14 years, and I'm not really excited about being close to the ocean. So we'll maybe look somewhere else. But what I'm looking for really is a villa. I don't know if there are any builders up there, developments up there that have villas.
So when you say villa, what expand on that, because I know is it more of like a garden home where you're looking for something where they take care of the exterior and the lawn care, things like that, something that's all inclusive?
Well, they're the ones I've seen are they share a common wall, and
like a duplex, like
a duplex.
Town hall. Yeah, yes, we have those here.
And I don't know if they're considered condominiums or townhomes or what, but I am interested in finding something that I don't like cutting. I've got a lawn that's over a quarter of an acre. Ooh, and okay. I don't like cutting grass anymore. And so I'm looking for something that's going to maintain the building, exterior of the building, as well as do the lawn work, fertilization, and what have you.
Yeah, so we have quite a few of those. So we have some that are 2 together. We have some that are 3 together or 4 together. Typically, they're 2 to 4 together, like little pods. And we have 1-story ones, and we have 2-story ones. You do have to look to make sure, because now some of them are condos and some of them are townhomes. So if you're going to finance it, it does make a difference, because condominiums are financed a lot different than townhomes. townhomes are financed like single family homes.
Mhm,
Condominiums have a whole different array of requirements to it, and you typically have to put down 25% on a condo
mhm,
because they're more. The theory is that they're more likely for people to abandon, like during the recession. But
mhm.
those aren't, they're not, the high rise condos. Just some of them are considered condos here and some of them aren't. I don't know why they did that, but some of them are. You just have to know. And some townhomes will pay for all of, the policy will pay for everything, and some of them piecemeal it. So
Right,
we just have to look and
okay,
see. Mhm.
all right. I'll send you an email with specifics. How's that sound?
Okay,
All
that
right,
sounds good.
okay.
Sounds good. Anything else? Okay.
Yeah, I do. How are the insurance rates up there now on single family homes and
Um, they're I guess when you compare it to other states' taxes, it's not too bad. So
yeah,
I'll just give you an example. So my house is a 1997 home built, 2 stories. We're about half a mile away from the intercoastal. We're about 32 or $3,500 a year, which is your wind and hail insurance. Now I choose to get flood insurance. I've never been flooded or near being flooded. I'm just paranoid about things like that. So I pay for flood insurance, which is about $800. So depending on the age of the home and where it's located, depends on your insurance amount. So if you have a newer home, your insurance will definitely be less.
I know there was a dramatic decrease in insurance costs the further you got away from the coast. I know I had a the beach home, and my wife complained all the time because walking up and down the steps, and so I ended up buying a home on the golf course in Hampstead,
Hmm.
and my insurance it dropped 40%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, uh,
Moving to the beaches definitely has a different aspects to it, but you are able to walk to the beach, so that's what you're paying for.
I can walk the golf course too.
Yeah.
All right, okay, that's fine.
So yeah. But I mean, and when you budget for it, I would just say budget at least 10 to 15% a year just in case for insurance. They
Yeah,
always try to do the scare tactic and say your insurance is going up
yeah.
95%, and then, they cut it down. So,
Okay,
all right.
that's fine. I am going to send you a little poop sheet on the what I'm looking for, and
Okay.
maybe you can find something up there. All
Yes,
right.
absolutely. Be happy
Fine.
to.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there are no more questions, this was fun, and we'll make sure to send you a copy of this. And feel free to share it with your friends or anybody who's thinking about the area. And I'll just tell you how it is and give you my honest opinion about everything. So feel free to ask me whatever you'd like.
Okay.
Have a good one,
Yep. Thank you.
everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.